that music, Brownie, gives me chills, as does seeing
back,
you.
Baby.
It's Andrew Hewitt and Campbell Brown back for a grand final special of Tools Down. Thanks to the team at Goodwork and, of course, our brand new sponsors, AIA Vitality, jumping on board for a bumper show. Brownie, so good to see you. How's lockdown been for you, mate? You been up to much?
I've been eating a fair bit, so yeah. What about you? You look fresh.
No, I'm going all right. I could have sworn, though, I saw a photo of you when maybe you hadn't been eating too much. Let's just see what you've been up to during lockdown. Wow. Now,
yeah, I don't look like that anymore.
And you've got yourself to blame. You posted this on your Instagram page, so obviously you're very proud of it. Any chance that we could see what it might look like if you... How many years ago was that, actually?
That was about 10 years ago.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. Discobolus, the Greek god.
You do love...
Doesn't look like that.
You do love a little bit of the spray tan too, so it's good to see you were changing it down for the gold. Go the Hawks. Grand final week, and in terms of guests, if you were to name one or two biggest guests you could get for a TV show heading into grand final week, who would they be?
I don't think we'd be able to get one because they're up in the hub in Queensland and it's going to be too difficult.
Well, that's where you'd be wrong, because Joel Selwood, the skipper of the Cats...
Be serious.
Joel Selwood, the skipper of the Cats, is joining us right here.
Unbelievable, baby.
Thanks to Goodwork and AIA Vitality. It's a massive show.
Who else we got?
Well, the tradie flavour, it's just going to keep on coming. A life of a maintenance plumber, we know him. He's got 40,000 followers on social media, runs an outstanding business. He's going to be on the tools, on site with Sam. He's doing a tool test for Rothenberger, and he might even have a little bit of a giveaway and a surprise for the tradies who are going to be watching us. Jimmy, with finance, grand final edition of the quiz. I know you're keen to get the hunger of a victory back, so we'll see how you go.
Jimmy Smith with the NRL?
So since we've been on, mate, he's got his own radio show. He's taking over Harbour City. He's going to give us the very latest on the NRL Grand Final. Jimmy Smith from SEN up in the Harbour City.
And don't forget, little Shane Crawford. That's what he's talking about.
And as a Hawthorn supporter, I can't believe we're going to...
That's a big show, mate. It's
Shane Crawford talking about how keeping fit and keeping up your vitality is going to be keen to bounce back from COVID-19. We're into it. Let's do it.
Goodwork is the tradies networking app. It's 100% free to join and use. You can connect with other tradies in your area and chat instantly to organise work, or post a job ad for free and make a profile where you can show off your skills.
Like a comfortable old pair of shoes, Brownie. It's so good. I want to hug you. I want to do everything. But we are in the thick of it right now, thanks to Goodwork and, of course, our sponsors, AIA Vitality. The grand final edition of Tools Down. And, you know, we thought we'd roll out the red carpet. You and I have worked in radio for a long time, and I don't reckon 48 hours out from a grand final we would have...
Extraordinary get by you, Huey.
Any chance. I can take no credit for it whatsoever. It's all thanks to Jono, who is a good mate of the Geelong skipper. He pulled out an outstanding effort the last couple of games as we lead into the grand final. And Joel, we join you at the hub up on the Gold Coast. Joel Selwood, skipper of the Cats, thanks so much for joining us on Tools Down.
No, I appreciate it, guys, and very easy to do at the moment. Got a lot of time on our hands. It's not quite the grand final weeks that we know of Melbourne. It's, to be honest, we're locked away up here and just going about our business quietly.
48 hours out from the big game. What does your schedule and the team's schedule sort of look like between now and then?
It's interesting, Brownie. As you know, they are usually quite busy with parades and whatnot. But for us, it's a small training session tomorrow that will probably last all of about 10 to 15 minutes. And apart from that, there'll be a couple of meetings surrounding that. And it's just time to recover up, rest up, and get ready for what will be a hell of a game.
Your record this year at the Gabba in particular has just been absolutely extraordinary. You're not just beating sides, but you're smashing them to the tune of, 9 and 10 goals. What is it different about that ground, or why is it that you guys seem to be playing so well there?
Yeah, I'm not actually quite too sure. We've really enjoyed being and playing our footy there. We haven't got the exact answer for it, but we've played it well. We decided that when we had the chance to play that second final, what home ground it would be, we would take that against Collingwood and have a crack there again, because we did have played it well. But mate, I haven't got an answer for you, to be honest. It was just it's just one that we're really comfortable on now.
Joel, it's a night grand final. Obviously, playing at night up there, we're aware it can be a bit dewy, a bit slippery. You guys have adapted really well. Do you see that as some sort of an advantage in terms of, they're even predicting you could have storms up there on Saturday night. Are you guys going to be ready and focused if it is a bit wetter and a bit slippery?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we haven't found the games too dewy just as of yet. So what might be a little bit different is that the rain might come in. We haven't seen it for the last 70 days. So it'll be foreign to not only us, but also Richmond, although they played in it last week. But it doesn't change the game style too much. You know, we'll go to work on what we do well, and I'm sure the Tigers will do what they do well, and we've seen it for a number of years.
You probably don't want to give too much away, but Dusty is obviously going to be a big discussion come match committee and a big focus for you guys. He's won 2 Norm Smiths. I've got a bit of a left-wing theory that Mark Blitzarves could be the guy that could go to him in terms of, you know, he's good one-on-one. He's played down back. He can go through the middle, but he's going to be a team focus. But is there going to be one guy that's going to get a role when he's in the middle or up forward?
He's one guy that you have plan A, B, and C for, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, we'll go to work on him. We understand what he's capable of. He's been an outstanding player for, you know, the last 5 years, especially in games like this. So we'll make sure we're on top of that.
Outside of the marquee players, obviously we know Dusty and there's a few other blokes, Rewalt, are really going to be performing well. Have you got any in that second tier that you're really worried about when it comes to Richmond, particularly on the big stage?
No, you run the rule over all of them, though, because they've all been there apart from one of them. So they know what this scenario is for us. We've had a number of guys that have been there, but it's a new scenario for a lot too. So they're eager, excited. They're on edge, which I'm okay with. It's better that they're that way. And now they just got to go out and just play that way, play with aggression, and have a real good crack at it.
Tommy Lynch is a guy that some clubs feel like they can get under his skin. It's going to be a crucial matchup. You're going to have a bit of a crack at Big Tommy?
Well, I haven't thought about it, to be honest, but he's a hell of a player. He gets them going. So we'll make sure that we have him covered too. But he's one of many down there that can kick scores for him.
And what about Paddy Dangerfield? How unusual that a guy that's so seasoned at the game and has had so many standout performances in so many big games is going to be playing his first grand final on Saturday night?
Yeah, it's probably fitting. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I always respect when those guys that have been around for a long period of time too and played at the level that Paddy has. I mean, he's won 8 All-Australians. He's finally got a chance to play in one, and I'm looking forward to what he can do on the big stage.
No doubt you're also looking forward to getting out of hub life. I mean, there's hub life and then there's AFL hub life, which is even more strict than your average Joe. As soon as the siren sounds after the grand final, you're free. What are you going to do?
Well, not sure, Brownie. To be honest, we'll miss each other. We've actually absolutely had a ball in. You know, we've had different team nights and whatnot. It might sound all a bit cheesy, but we've really enjoyed what we've been able to put together and how we've been able to play footy, but also just being around each other, finding out more about each other, making each other better. So, yeah, I mean, we look forward to what's next, but there's also going to be part of me that really misses what's been happening for the last 110 days. Can
you imagine Mad Monday up there after the grand final? And just the release that's going to go on once these
magnificent. It's been a year like no other, mate, so we really appreciate you giving us your time. Well done to yourself and all the AFL players for going up interstate for the hub and putting the season on, because as Victorians and everyone from around the state, it's given us something, bit of hope to watch and look forward to. So
and just before you go, Joel, we've been able to get a viewer question, if you don't mind. I think we've got we're going to cross now to a youngster who's looking to get some tips on what it might be like to get on that road to AFL stardom. Are you there?
Sounds good.
Thanks, Dad. Hey, Joel. Good luck in this weekend's grand final. I was just wondering if you had any tips for any young footballers who want to play AFL one day.
It's a good question. Thanks, Dad. Mate, to be honest, I used to love to listen, learn, and get the most out of just having fun. So right now, a lot of guys, especially teenagers, can take footy too seriously, I reckon, and it's a time just to make sure you enjoy it with your friends and go out and have a crack.
Outstanding. If you didn't pick up, that was my youngest
I
boy,
was going to say he
Aston.
looked a lot like you, apart from the hair.
The locks, they're amazing. Joel,
He might need a haircut.
as soon as we get out of lockdown, he was super excited to get the opportunity to ask you a question. Thanks for being a great sport, Joel. Thanks to you and Jono, who works behind the scenes here at Good Work. Absolutely outstanding to speak to the skipper of the Geelong Cats heading into the 2020 Grand Final. Joel, thanks so much for your time.
Good luck, mate.
No worries, guys. Thanks. Go Cats.
Still pinching myself that we would have the skipper of the Cats, Joel Selwood, on Brownie again.
It's a good get from one legend to another, though.
Yeah, I know. And haven't things just kicked off? Jimmy Smith maybe not have been known to too many people south of the border, but I tell you what, since making an appearance on Tools Down, and we will take full credit for it, this man has not only continued to climb the media ladder, but Jimmy, am I right, as we welcome you, SEN Talk Sport Radio in the Harbour City has you as the drive host as a result of your appearances on this show. Jimmy, well done and thanks for the gifts.
Hey, Huey, Brownie, how are you, boys? By the way, you're going from Joel Selwood to me. Wow, what a leap of faith that is. No truth to that rumour, Huey, although I did make contact with Hutchie and said, you've offered me this shift, you know, what was it about it? And he said, tools down, mate, tools down.
Beautiful.
It's still happening. So
It's the start of many careers, mate.
By the way, but what have you boys been up to? Haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, no, we haven't been doing too much. I haven't been able to leave the house down here in Victoria, so we're going beautifully. But what I have been doing is been watching plenty of NRL and the Melbourne Storm. I'm confused, Jimmy. You need to tell me this. Penrith, they've won 17 games in a row, clearly the best side in the comp. How do they go into Sunday night's game as underdogs?
Yeah, well, Brandy, I reckon you understand experience too, right? So this is the incredible thing about the Melbourne Storm. They're playing in the 18th season under the coaching of Craig Bellamy, and they are just about to play in their 9th grand final in that time. So I know Alistair Clarkson is a superstar coach of the AFL. To have a strike rate of every second year, your team make the grand final. It's like, if you follow your NFL, it's Bill Belichick-like with the New England Patriots. So all credit to Craig Bellamy. They've got a little bloke who plays number 9 named Cameron Smith, who is clearly the greatest player of his era, and he might put the icing on the cake with a man-of-the-match performance in what might be his last game in the NRL.
The great thing about Bellamy, I suppose, is the fact that he's always had to do it with different players. Because Cooper Cronk leaves and Greg Inglis leaves, and like every second year the stars get poached, as what happens in successful clubs, and instead new guys like Pappenhausen and Big Nelson Asafa Solomon and these type of guys who just play their role beautifully.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how. And this is what the players who play under Bellamy say. He really simplifies what their role is. All I want you to do is this, this, and this, right? Don't worry about anything else. And invariably, if they do that, with that sprinkling of superstars that he's got, they have a very successful season. He's played in the last 6 prelims, the Melbourne Storm, the last 6 prelims. So, yeah, it is incredible. But Ryan Pappenhausen's a really interesting one, Brownie, because you look at, he was stuck behind James Tedesco, who is arguably the best number 1 in the game. Some people think he's the best player in the game at the moment at the West Tigers. So he went, right, I'm going to go for an opportunity down at the Melbourne Storm. They identified him, said, yeah, he's got the talent, he's got the characteristics that we like. When he got there behind Billy Slater, he was 4th in line to be the fullback. And circumstances, injuries, opportunities have come about. At the end of this game on Sunday, whether they win or lose, he will probably be named in Brad Fittler's 27-man New South Wales State of Origin squad. That's what you call a meteoric rise.
Yeah, no doubt. They're a very good side, Penrith, as I touched on. But the one standout is Nathan Cleary. How do you go about quelling his influence?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm trying to think of, give me the AFL equivalent of a guy who is always composed, invariably takes the right option, doesn't necessarily have to be the most brilliant player, but is highly effective at making those around him look good.
Would have been Campbell Brown back in.
He's the equivalent of Dusty, though, for this side, isn't he? If he plays well, they win.
That's right. And if he plays well, then invariably Jerome Luai will play well. Api Coruscant has probably played well. Dylan Edwards, the fullback, he's probably played well. Viliami Kikau out on the left-hand side. I'm not saying it's vital that he has a blinder for them to win, but it's invariable that it goes hand in hand, right? He plays really well. and the Penrith Panthers win. And as you say, Brownie, like 17 straight wins. They've never done it in their history. And they go into the game as an underdog, albeit a minor underdog.
Yeah, and I'm tipping from the way you're talking about that, you fancy Penrith over the Storm, Jimmy?
Bad read again, Hugh. Sorry.
Oh, well.
Missed it by that much. No, on the score of experience, on the score of, I think this is definitely Cameron Smith's last game in the Melbourne Storm colours. Could potentially be his last game at all in what is an amazing career with all that support cast around him that are playing really good footy. Bellamy's experience as well. I think the Melbourne Storm get home in what I hope is a classic.
I'll tell you one thing that Huey did get right. He told me the winner of the Dahlia medal before it was announced.
Yeah.
What happened there? That was an absolute debacle.
Oh.
I feel sorry for the poor bloke at the Daily Telegraph at News. You had one job, just upload it. But just wait till the ceremony's done, right? So on the back of that, it was so awkward watching. You know, people were contacting me on social media and saying, "Oh, have a look at this." And to me, it made it even more intriguing because he was a surprise winner, Jack White. Like if it said Nathan Cleary won, you'd go, "Oh, well, that's pretty mundane." But Jack White won it. You went, "Okay, well, how does this play out?"
Right.
And there's a lot of speculation around because everything was made public. Who voted in what games and who got points and who did that voting. And so Clint Gutherson, the Parramatta Eels fullback, he didn't get any points in the last game where a couple of try assists, a try-saving tackle. You think, oh, how did he miss out? So plenty of controversy, but look, it's not for the best player in the competition. You know, you could probably say that Lachie Neale was the best player in the competition and he won the Brownlow by a street, but it's for the best player in the games that his team plays in. And you might get 3 points one week and have a shocker the next week. Well, you're still on the same amount as the player who's played consistently and got a 2 and a 1. So that's the system. Maybe the system needs an overhaul. Yeah.
Now, we know you're going to be biased. You've got your radio show, your gold microphone, or maybe it's bronze. I'm not sure the colour you and your massive team up there are going for to decorate the studio. You can't all be NRL, though. We've got to get a tip from the AFL. Do you know who's playing this weekend and who wins it?
I think Port of Certainties, to be honest. They're going right up. No. Mate, boys, I love my AFL.
I know you do, mate. I was being silly.
I'm a great admirer of Dusty, but I think I'm a bigger admirer of Paddy Dangerfield. So and from a distant connection between the Country Women's Association, my mum knows the grandmother of Tommy Hawkins. So he's a career that I've always sort of followed. Glad to hear that he's fit, firing, ready to go. So I'm going to go for the Cats.
Mate, you're going to fit right in with Sydney Radio up there. You're already dropping some names and mentioning who you know and who knows you. Jimmy, congrats. We know you had your first show today. The very best of luck, mate. We mean it. And fingers crossed we'll keep rolling on down here and we'll provide you don't get too much superstar styling. We'll get you on again sometime soon for Tools Down where it all started for you.
Oh, mate, I'd love that, Huey. Thanks, Brownie. Just a minute, got the Prime Minister calling.
yeah. Of course you do, mate. Off he goes. SEN's finest. Tune in no matter where you are in Australia. If you love Jimmy, and why wouldn't you, tune in on SEN up in Sydney. Got a great product going up there, and it's a big credit to Hutchie and all the team for driving sport in the Harbour City. We need more of it. What we also need more of is more tradie talk, more tools, and that's why the person we love going to gives us the latest out and about, even when the COVID restrictions are hitting us, is Sam. Let's go on the tools now with Sam and Johnny.
Hey guys, it's John from Life and Maintenance Plumber. Today we're going to be having a look at the Rothenberger row drum sewer machine, self-feeding one. We'll show you guys some of the features of the machine. Now this runs off a 240 volt system with a little surge protector there. Now it comes in 2 different size cables you can use on this. This is a 13mm cable which is 15 meters long. And the benefit of the 30mm cable is it comes with interchangeable augers on the front of that. So you'll get this kit as well. The row drum S, there you go, a bit of information on that. So you get some gloves, 7 pieces of different augers, cutters, even the chain ones, and the little key to unlock your augers. So it also comes in a 10mm cable, which is 10 meters long, but the 10mm cable has got a fixed head on it, so you'll just have pretty much a straight auger built in on the end of it, so you can't change that off. This is self-feeding, so we'll plug it in. It's very straightforward. On the back here, the drum's activated with a foot pedal, which is on an air switch on the side here. Now you've got the option to run the drum clockwise and anti-clockwise, but we always just keep it going clockwise because we can do forward and reverse from the front. So we'll show you guys over here. So to activate the drum, to spin the drum, I'll use my knee. Hang on a sec. That's on. Now we're going to go forward and reverse, and we'll show you guys the features. That's going to go forward, reverse, and that's going to be neutral, so you can spin on the spot as we're going. So we're going to go forward, spin on the spot, and then we can turn that and go in reverse. Now we'll show you guys, this is pretty heavy because it's a really solid motor and frame on this. It's about 25 kilos all up. So if you're going to be doing any flights of stairs, you can pull it apart and make it easier to carry it up a flight of stairs. So all you got to do on the bottom here is a little quick release, like on a bike rim. Loosen that off, give it a bit of a wiggle. That'll come off. You'll be able to then grab that off there like that. So you've got your little contraption in there. You can carry that upstairs. So it just goes straight back on. Like so, give it a bit of a jiggle so the cogs all line up. Then we'll put that back in and line it up. Give it a bit of a tighten up. And then there you go, like that. So there you go, guys. These are available at Reese, the Rotodrum S. Very, very heavy duty. Check them out. There you go. Thanks, guys.
So I'm here with John, who is an internet sensation, life of a maintenance plumber, and has just hit 40,000 followers on Instagram. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks so much.
On the milestone.
That's all right. Yeah.
How do you feel about it? How do you get to that?
Don't know. It came around so quick. I don't know. I just all of a sudden, don't know, people were interested in it, so they started following. I didn't think it was going to get to this stage, to be honest, but yeah, there's a few people out there must like drains and what we pull out of drains, I guess.
It's probably one of those things that you can't look away.
Yeah, you got to watch to the end, see how it pans out. I think
exactly.
on those blockages and whatever, all those jobs.
Yeah. And do you have advice for anyone else who wants to lift their social media game?
You got to put in a lot of hours, I think. A lot of hours. I only do very brief at work, and then I do a lot of the stuff at home after hours and stuff like that. So it's very, very time consuming. A lot of people come in and they go hard for a bit and they realise it's too hard and they back off. But yeah, you just got to keep pushing on. So it is a lot of hard work. It's like a second job, to be honest. But.
Yep. And now we're here in Melbourne, we've got our masks on, we're doing the right thing. How are you feeling coming out of COVID? Are things picking up a bit?
I think last week after the announcement about easing restrictions, it has picked up a lot more. I think probably maybe everyone's been backing these jobs up and then sort of just released them when, tradies were allowed to, start doing a bit more work. So, but we had enough to keep going so every day, so it was pretty constant. It wasn't flat out every day during the whole lockdown. But yeah, I think last week especially, it's picked up a whole heap now, and they're throwing a whole heap of jobs at us now. So yeah, it's good. Perfect.
And now I've got 3 quick rapid fire questions for you.
Oh yeah, okay, yep.
Your favourite tool and why?
It's got to be, I reckon, one of the drain cleaning tools. I reckon maybe the Milwaukee one that does my showers, my specialty on my showers. It can pull the big boys out of the drain.
Yep, lovely.
Big rats.
Yep.
I think that's my favourite, yeah.
And your favourite snack when you're out and about?
I always get a coffee from 7-Eleven, the $1 coffee in the morning. It's an essential way to start the morning. And it maybe once a week I might treat myself to a Macca's meal or something like that. So
nice.
That's about it.
There's a Macca's around the corner.
Yeah, there is, yep.
And last but not least, who are you going for in the granny on Saturday?
I'm a Collingwood supporter, but I'm going to go for Richmond because I've got a lot of family members who go for Richmond. So I'll go with that one, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Richmond out here, guys, from both of us.
Yep.
All right, back to you.
See you guys.
Always great to go on site and learn about the trade firsthand, and there's no doubt that Johnny, Life of a Maintenance Plumber, if you want to look him up on Instagram, and Sam doing some great work and provide you with plenty of updates if you're in the trade and looking to know how to use the tools, what tools best, and even how to connect with your customers. Great stuff. Life of a Maintenance Plumber. And I just get so excited when Jimmy comes on. I know my mum sets the recorder. She loves it. And he's not letting us, he's really not letting us down today. James, is it true, that you've basically set up your own studio? Now that you become that big time, you've got a full light setup, you've got makeup artists and everything.
Turn your camera around, please, Jimmy. Be
I'm
honest with the viewer.
I'm not doing that. Hi, boys. Great to see you. But hey, let's be very clear here. If you keep calling me, we're going to do things properly, eh? And happy grand final week to everyone there.
As an accountant, transparency is very important. You need to swing that camera around, mate.
No,
there's lighting going on.
No, I'll give you the tip. Look at that, because the rest of my office is a pigsty, so I'm not doing that.
We're going better than the kangaroos are anyway at the moment.
Absolutely, mate. And that instant tax write-off, Jimmy, just working a treat for you and making sure you're building your own TV studio as well. So plenty of tax cuts. Right. And I know you've got a big question to kick it off.
Oh, it's been 3 months nearly since we last spoke, Jimmy. What have been some of the major announcements and changes?
Well, we've got the federal budget came in on the first week of October, and this was a big one. You've been seeing on the news a lot of work around stimulus and a lot of work around encouraging jobs and money spending in the economy, because that's essentially what we need. If you remember from our previous episodes, we talked about that there's enough demand and people have got money, but they can't spend it. Well, this is just a budget about increasing the spending. And for the tradies out there, it's all about the infrastructure spending that's coming from the top. So the feds, for starters, have given all the states an extra couple of $2 billion to spend on new infrastructure projects, which means that is going to filter down to the tradie. There's going to be plenty of work to go around. And this is where your network becomes so important, because you want to get your hold on that sort of thing. You want to be able to tap into that sort of funding into those projects. So we expect that there will be a bit of a lull after Christmas as projects finish and on the big infrastructure. But come March, April, May, there's going to be a big influx of new projects around Victoria. And that's probably the biggest influence that the budget's had in the last 3 months.
And that is great news. But I suppose on the flip side of that, Jimmy, maybe you got some advice. If I am a small to medium business, 1 to 3 employees, I'm probably thinking that I can't actually get access to that infrastructure spend. Have you got any tips on how you can get involved in those tender processes that can bring the cash as part of that large couple of $1 billion you talked about?
Well, it's all about changing your market setup, I suppose. The type of work that you may have been doing in the past may change in the future. And this is where smaller businesses, smaller employees could actually band together and actually work together on bigger projects together as these infrastructure projects come online. So I would be open to the idea of having your employees, your guys, subbies out to somebody else for a period of time through the middle of next year. And those opportunities would be great. I'm very, very confident that your hourly charge-out rates will be looked after. So what the advice around that is get involved, get creative, and see if you can team up with other people to band a bigger band of people to get together.
Yeah, industry associations are a big one too. If you can use your membership of industry associations, find out the websites, connect with those infrastructure projects, and like you said, a bit of teamwork, come together and make sure you're getting the best results. Jimmy, I notice you're a big fan of the kangaroos as well. Is that pocket square intentionally matching the scarf?
And the tie, mate. What are you talking about? How
level
do
of
you
detail.
do business here? Oh, come on.
And
of course it was.
One last finance one before I know you're going to be very excited. We have a grand final edition of the quiz, so we're going to get to that soon to give that winning feeling to one of you heading into the grand final. Tax concessions. We know there are going to be tax cuts coming as part of the announcement. Can you just quickly give us an overview of that before we get into the quiz?
Well, there's a couple of key ones. First of all, changes of individual tax rates. So everyone's got a tax break. Every Australian has got their tax break. It's actually backdated to the 1st of July, but probably come into effect the first couple of weeks of November as the ATO rolls out the new tax schedules. Okay, roughly between $35 to $50 a week per person on average. But that kind of rolls into your pay packet from probably from November onwards. That's number one. Number two, the instant tax write-off of business assets. Now, this is not new. Most of you out there have already probably bought motor vehicles, equipment, and already instantly write them off. So the ATO have extended that for larger businesses, but also extended to the eligibility is a bit greater. So the type of assets are now broader than what it was. And what I mean by that is any asset really that you're using in your business, you're able to get an instant tax write-off. Now, just be careful with that. Don't be spending money or buying a new asset if you don't have to. But if you are required to update your equipment or get involved in doing some more work and you need, just know that you're going to get some tax relief on it straight away. And I think the third one out of this stimulus is the job making and hiring of apprentices. So if you're looking for more sets of hands, using younger people who are either unqualified, need their apprenticeship or out their certs, but also if you're hiring people who have been on Job Seeker in the past, you could be subsidised up to $200 a week to pay their wages. And that's a really good one to consider if you want to move forward.
Yeah, apprenticeships and education is certainly a big one. Rightio, let's get into it. It's been a long time coming, and I think actually Jimmy got one up on you the last time we ran the quiz, which feels like a lifetime ago. So here we go. Jimmy, your buzzer's Jimmy. Brownie, your buzzer is?
Brownie.
Yep, that's it. So first to buzz in, we got 5 questions. First one to get to 3 is going to be the winner. General sort of sporty theme, but we're going to throw in a little bit of finance and maybe some oddball questions as well. Okay, the quiz, question number 1. Who was the winner of the 2020 NBA Finals?
Brandon.
Jimmy.
Brownie.
Lakers, LA Lakers.
Bing.
Yeah, well done.
That's one to Brownie. I'm hoping we haven't got a delay, Jimmy, so maybe you might have to get in a little bit earlier.
I'll have to do the style of the centre and try and guess it just before you finish the question.
Okay, another sport question. Who won the 2020 PGA Golf Championship?
Jimmy. PGA was Morikawa from San Francisco.
One to Jimmy, Colin Morikawa. Should have said US PGA, but that's all
Half
right.
a point for only getting his last name.
That's fine, I got it. Okay, another sporting one. Which car, it's 1-1 by the way, so pressure's on you, Brownie. Which car manufacturer?
Holden.
Wow.
Is that right?
I'm tipping he might have seen the question.
No, it did not. Is it Bathurst?
It is Bathurst. Which car manufacturer
wasn't hard
won
to
the
predict.
2020 Bathurst 1000?
It wasn't hard to predict that one.
Brownie 2, you 1, Jimmy. So we're going to throw in a finance question just to even the ledger, hopefully a little bit. We might have already covered this. What is the 2019-2020 budget deficit as a result of the coronavirus?
Jimmy. 270 bill, I think.
I'm going to say 320 bill.
I'm going to check. It's unusual for Jimmy to get this wrong. And even if we went nearest the pin, I've got here almost 86 billion.
Oh, so not too bad.
You know what? That sounds more right. I think the 270 is the prediction over the next 3 to 4 years, but we're going to end up at around 900.
Yeah, you didn't subtract and minus the left-hand column from the right.
I didn't round it off.
So that's it. Brownie wins. I didn't even get a chance to ask the last one, but I will. And it's a multiple choice. Yeah? What is a road drum? Is it A, an artisan musical instrument, B, a drain cleaning machine with automatic spiral feed, or C, a box that helps stabilise water flow?
Jimmy.
Jimmy?
I'm going to have to guess just to try and equal this up here, but I reckon it's B.
A drain cleaning machine with automatic spiral feed, Jimmy. You go out with the right question, but Brownie, you are the champion.
I let him guess the first because then I knew I was going to be 50-50 when he got it wrong, but he nailed it. Well done, Jimmy.
Outstanding work. Hey, Jimmy, that studio environment's just right for you to be the next sort of comset guy or whatever. I know you're angling towards a TV gig. If there is anyone watching at the moment and wants to get Jimmy on their books, just head to Client Partners.
.com.au, find me there and we're more than happy to help you out.
Also head there if you want a bit of finance advice. Hey, who's your tip for the grand final, James?
I reckon Geelong. I just think they could score more and do more. And I think it would be great for Dangerfield to become a premiership player because he's a gun.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, James, great work as always. It's great to see you for grand final week. We'll be back again with another episode of Tool Down featuring you next week. Well done to you.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Hey? So that's all we need. Just a bit of a light set up at home and you can be a TV superstar. Just like
waiting for you to get the light set up.
And as a Hawthorn fan, I tell you what, I'm getting a bit flustered at the moment because I know you and I have been working together for a long time now, but our next guest I worked with for a little bit and it was a bit nerve-wracking because he'd just come out of retirement himself. He'd won a stack of premierships and played for my favourite team.
300-game superstar, Brownlow medalist.
And one of the most beautiful man you'll ever cast your eyes on. And that's why he's here, thanks to AIA Vitality. Keeping well, Crawford. Jeez, you're looking good, mate.
See you, mate.
It is great to see you guys. It's been a long time and not necessarily with Campbell. I do keep in touch with the great man, seeing what he's up to. No, you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
What have you been up to? What have you been up to?
Just trying to keep the kids on track.
Yeah.
They're trying to keep me on track, and this time of year the weather gets better, so it's great to get outdoors, get a bit of fresh air, especially into those lungs.
And you got twins?
I've got twins who are 8 years of age. I've got 11-year-old Ben and Charlie, who's 14. So all boys, crazy, and they've got a crazy dad.
If anyone was born for homeschooling, it was Shane. It was Shane Crawford. Would have been unbelievable homeschool teacher.
It is a worry when the 8-year-olds go, Dad, will you help us with a bit of maths? I said, yep. And they go, this, take away this. And I'm like, where's your mother? You better go and find your mother.
One of the best footballers and one of the funniest blokes going around, which is why we got you in today to have a bit of a chat about AI Vitality. Maybe we'll see some of your film work that you've been getting up to while we've been in lockdown. Let's take a look at the ad.
That's what I'm talking about!
Life's greatest rewards takes practice and persistence. And the same rules apply to our health. So do what you can. Eat a bit better, move a bit more, take them low. Because big changes start with small steps. Steps towards a healthier, longer, better life.
Magnificent stuff, Crawford. You're a man that in retirement has run from Sydney to Melbourne. You've ridden your bike from Melbourne to Perth. What are you doing at the moment to stay fit?
Well, I'm not doing that. You're not allowed to cross the borders.
No.
But no, I love getting outdoors. I love walking, and I like running as well. And doing some strides, feeling like you can still run reasonably well, but more feel-good sessions. So I think it's really important for my head, for my heart and lungs to get out and just, as you get a bit older, you got to pace yourself a bit better and be a bit more selective on how often you do your running. But I love getting outdoors, getting the fresh air into the lungs.
Do you still reminisce about grand final week 2008, your last game?
At times I do. It was an incredible week, and I'll never forget Tuesday night going out onto the training track. And I was lucky enough to play with the great Campbell Brown, who had a bit of white line fever, but I love that about him, and you just knew exactly where you stood, and he's one of those amazing people who can tell you what they're thinking 100% of the time, so you know exactly if there's a grey area or not. But we're playing Geelong. Gary Ablett, one of the all-time greats. I remember Campbell looking at me, and there was thousands and thousands of supporters, and we're training away, and he looked at me and he said, I'll do anything to win. He said, I'll rip Gary Ablett's arm off and eat it if I have to. And do you know what? I believed him. I really did believe him. I'm thinking, we're going to be all right, because he'll do everything we need to win the game.
And Brownie talks about it a little bit, probably a little bit too much, but in the lead up to grand finals, no matter how many you've played, I imagine, even if you're in lockdown or the hub right now, would you just love to be getting back there and then 48 hours away from playing in the grand final?
Yeah, but the thing is, there's so much work that goes into it. As much as we all probably think we could get out there and get a kick and get involved, but there's so much work that goes into it. You need a bit of luck along the way, injury-wise, and you obviously need a team where it's a total team focus. You're putting the team first ahead of everything you do. So, it's great memories. I was very lucky to be a part of a very good team at the end, and it was a nice way to end my career.
Gary Ablett's going to be finishing up in a grand final, much like you did.
Yeah, well, what an amazing player, really, when you look at the consistency to go to Geelong, then to the Gold Coast, and now back to Geelong. It really would be a fairy tale. But also, you got Harry Taylor, who might be coming towards the end. Paddy Dangerfield's never won a grand final. But then you look at Richmond and you think, wow, what a wonderful team. I know they've had a few hiccups throughout the year, but they just get on with it. They've galvanised together, and they've proven to everyone that not only are they a great football club off the field, they're a wonderful team on the field.
Who wins? I think it's going to be a close game. Who do you think will end up winning?
I think the last couple of weeks, the prelim finals, it was like, I got no idea. And it was pretty much the case with the grand final. Geelong play a real organised style, and they just work their way through you, and it's really calm. They've got some calmness about them, and they've got some superstars, and just so well drilled in every area. You look at their forward line and the way that they separate for each other and keep the space for some of their key forwards. And then you look at Richmond, and everyone says chaotic style, and they just take the game on and they make it up as they go. But I can assure you, and Campbell played under Damien Hardwick, who's the coach of the Tigers, as an assistant coach, and I was under him as well. I can assure you there's a real system to the way they do it.
It's organised chaos, isn't it?
It is absolute organised chaos. And the thing is, they all need to switch the play and take the game on. And the good thing is Geelong will be set up really well and they'll be blocking the space, but Richmond, it won't stop them. They'll be going, here we go, we're going to charge. So I think it is going to be one of those great grand finals. Regardless of the weather, I've heard that it might be wet.
It could be a storm, lightning.
But you just never know. And the thing is, they play well in all conditions, both sides. So it's going to be close. I'm leaning towards Richmond, but not very confident.
Now, we could keep talking for days. And I mean, when it comes to getting together and being around each other, you blokes, you can see the connections there even after you've played footy. Mental health and wellness is really important. And I do want to try and weave in a little bit of AIA vitality because it is the reason you're here. But Prof, what are some of the things you've done during lockdown? Because you and I have been texting and playing words with friends. It can be a bit of a nightmare. How can people at home really get in tune with themselves?
It's connecting with people, yeah. Like I think if I connect with my friends, even if it's once a month, it's amazing. Even if you sit around for half an hour, sitting over a coffee or a glass of water, just chatting and talking, in Campbell and myself's case, crap. It's amazing how much better we feel once we sort of go away from those meetings. And I think in life, everyone gets into their own little bubble and you go into survival mode and you try and find a way. So I think it's really important that you keep connected with loved ones and you really sort of go out of your way to try and make an effort. Exercise is super important. You don't have to exercise a lot, but getting outdoors, just getting the heart going, but it's great for the head. It's amazing, how much the mind feels better from actually getting out and doing something and getting all the endorphins going. It's a great way. I like starting the day with exercise. I do ease into it with a slow walk just to warm up the old body. But, and feel-good sessions. Like a lot of people think when you need to train, you need to really hurt and take yourself into a mental space where it's really, really tough. You don't have to. You can still do a lot of sessions where you finish craving more, and I call them feel-good sessions, so it's important to have plenty of those. And
AIA Vitality, you've got plenty of apps and technology to assist you as well, as we are doing it in sort of this remote environment. It's good that we've got a product like this to be able to help people out. You can Google it and find out more. Yeah, so the AIA, what they've done really well, and I've been an ambassador for a few years now, and they've set something up where it actually rewards people and motivates people to look after yourself. So from health checks, once you join, you've got access to grabbing yourself an Apple Watch. You can get paid for exercising, believe it or not. So for anyone that lacks a bit of motivation, it's amazing once you get on the program. And it's all about small steps. Like in life, everyone wants to conquer the world and do all sorts of things, but this is all about making small changes. It might be adding an extra glass of water in the morning to your diet, or it might be eating a couple of pieces of fruit in the afternoon when normally you'd snack it on something a bit different. A little bit of red licorice.
And it's all about small steps, and you just keep adding layers. But to be rewarded for actually looking after yourself, and you got to remember, if you do look after your body repays you enormously. And as you get a bit older, you want to make sure that you're in full control, and your health's the most important thing.
We didn't even check this, but you brought a gift for Brownie a little while ago, and we did record it. Is it true that you've got in your hands your 08 Premiership jumper? Yeah,
I've been looking for it for 12 years. Little did I know that Crawford knocked it off somewhere along the way.
Well, COVID times, what have we all been doing? Yes, we do a bit of work here and there, but you clean out the shed and your cupboards. And I cleaned out my cupboard, and I thought, I'm a Premiership jumper, and I'm like, turn to the round, number 30. That's Campbell Brown. I'm like, what on earth am I doing with Campbell Brown's Premiership top? So
search for it. You remember when someone snuck into the Patriots' rooms and stole Tom Brady's helmet, and there was a nationwide search? No one knew that this was missing, and I didn't even know. But now I've got it, so it's good. Thanks.
Yeah, and I've still got mine, but I'm like, oh wow, this is unbelievable. What on earth? And I still don't know to this day how on earth I ended up with Campbell's jumper.
But we won't go to any more detail.
He thoroughly
Leave the
deserved
mystery
it. He was a superstar.
Thanks, Wayne.
Pushed forward. Did you kick a goal in the grand final?
Yeah,
Beautiful
from
goal.
65, yeah.
I thought it was 70. Amazing.
And you just called him Wayne.
Yeah, well, when Shane was the captain of the Australian team that went over to Ireland, the president of the GAA, Nicky Brennan, he got up and did this rousing speech presenting the Australian captain. He said, "The Brad Pitt of Australian rules football. Women want to be with him, men want to be him. Would you put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Wayne Crawford." So I've called him Wayne ever since.
That is true, in front of the Irish media. And here I was, captaining my country, feeling extremely proud. They call that Wayne Crawford. And I'm like, oh. And then Gary O'Lyon, I was calling Gary O'Lyon. So I sat there and Gary's like, oh, Wayne's so pumped about leading this team. So all the Irish media thought I was Wayne. Yeah. So then I started going, well, Gary O'Lyon. So it would become an ongoing thing. It stuck and probably one of the highlights of the trip.
That's true. We could do this forever. This is like a boyhood dream of mine. Croft, great to have you with us. Thanks so much. AIA Vitality, Google it, check it out. Incentives to help people who just want to get their mental health and wellness underway. Great program you're a part of. Good luck with everything, mate.
Thanks,
Say good day to the family for us.
Thank you for having me. Keep up the good work. And always great to see this champion. And you, of course. You're a champion as well.
Doesn't even remember my name.
Andrew. Don't be like that.
A massive thanks to you, Wayne. Really important to keep your health and vitality up. And this has been brilliant for my mental health, Brownie. It's so good to see you.
You too.
It's great to be back with everyone who follows Tools Down. Thank you. Thanks to Good Work. Thanks to AIA Vitality. And the grand final winners this weekend aren't going to be the only ones taking home a little bit of something. I can tell you, in next week's show, we are going to announce a winner of the road drum. Thanks to Rothenberger. You saw Johnny and Sam taking it for a bit of a test run earlier in the show. We are giving that away, $2,000 or thereabouts worth of awesome product.
Great bit of machinery, Huey. Have a look at it. Beautiful.
I can just see us getting out and about and using it as much as possible. If you would like to win it, it's simple. All you got to do is follow us, the Good Work Facebook page, search Good Work on Facebook, and we'll have more details on how you can go into the draw to win that prize that we will draw right here for our Tradie Week special. It's going to be coming to you live from the studios, and we can't wait to be back again, helping you guys bounce back from COVID-19. Brownie, you're a legend. Go the Cats, and we'll see you again next week. Tools Down. Thanks to Good Work and AIA Vitality.
Enjoy the weekend.